The beautiful Bird Ballad laser cut cards. They come in a tin like this, which is so pretty. You're going to get 12 laser cut cards. They're vanilla, very vanilla, and then of course you get the 12 envelopes to go with them. Oops, let me keep one of these out. Recently I saw a demonstrator in Australia. Her name's Karen Fakar. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. And she did the most interesting cut on the card. So I love it, and I want to show you how to do that. I'm using the cutter that you could get for free if you signed up to be a demonstrator during Celebration. And it's just kind of handy. I don't have to get up and run to my big cutter for little things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut away the solid vanilla cardstock up to the laser cut part. So we're just going to cut each side initially, just the solid part. Okay, hold on to the back of this because this is going to become the second layer, the top layer for your card. This, unfortunately, I can't cut in this little cutter because I need it to cut at 5 1/4, and this little cutter only goes to 4 1/4. So I'm going to have to cut that in my big cutter. Okay, now this is 5 1/2 inches. So what I'm going to do is just stick it in and cut it at 2 3/4, and then I'll have enough to make 2 of the cards. Okay, so now let me show you how to cut it away. If you notice on the card, there's this beautiful scallop along the bottom. There's very little card of the laser that you have to cut away to get that print. And I'll show you what we're going to cut away. Alright, so you'll see the design along the bottom, and it will be very easy to detect what you're going to cut off. So just this little part right here is what you're cutting off. There are 2 sides to this. One is a little bit plainer, and one has a bit more design and interest to it. So we're going to be using that top part. I'm going to use my snail adhesive. The snail adhesive, by the way, is being retired. And I've seen the new adhesive in the catalog, but of course I don't have any, so I can't really tell you about it. You may want to stock up a little bit on your snail refills. Okay, so now I'm going to place this on the top part of the card, the top layer. Normally when you're cutting a layer down, you cut it 1/4 inch less. However, let me just put this here for just a second so you can see it. The second layer is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And the reason I did that is because the laser cut card, once you cut off the solid vanilla, it's 3 7/8 inches wide. So I wanted this card to be able to match it. So instead of cutting the normal amount, 1/4 inch, which would have been 5 1/4 by 4, I added took away 1/8 inch more, and that's what is making it 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add ribbon. This is the beautiful petal pink metallic edge ribbon. This also is being retired. We're going to put the snail right across the top, and then I'm going to put this in a straight line so I can get a visual of how to make this straight. Okay, there we go. Flip it over, add a little adhesive to the back, and pull the ribbon up from each direction. So you've got it there. Okay, so now we're going to take this second layer and add it to the main layer, to the main card. And the main card is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, folded in half and scored with the bone folder. Okay, so here we've got the main base of our card. You could get creative at this point and do whatever you want on the top. You could just stamp straight on there. What I've decided to do is add circles. So I'm going to use 2 circles. The first circle I'm using is the largest layering scallop circle die, And the second layer is the largest stitched shape die. And of course this is vanilla cardstock. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a greeting. I want to show you the set that I'm using. This is called Beautiful Bouquet. This is, by the way, also retiring. I'm so sad because I love the greetings in it. It has a beautiful happy anniversary, happy wedding day, happy birthday. It's got an inside saying, wishing you a day of love and happy memories. That would go with birthday, wedding day, happy anniversary. Wish I couldn't pick a better friend than you. I mean, it's just an amazing set. So consider that. And also, I think I forgot to tell you that the laser cut cards themselves are retiring. And they're on sale for 20% off. So now's a great time to get some before they go away. So I'm using the happy anniversary. I like to have a little piece of cardstock for just practicing to make sure that things are inking well. I'm using the ink from Blushing Bride because the Petal Pink ink is not quite dark enough to show up as well as I'd like it to. So now I'm going to layer the two circles together. Okay, that's good. I'm going to add it to the card. I've already put dimensionals on the back, so I'll just pull off the little paper part. And let's see, are they all off? Whoops, I knew I was missing one. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're just going to add that right over the ribbon. Okay, so now here's what we've got. And the person that I originally saw use this idea used some things out of the Bird Ballad suite. I am going to use the Magnolia Lane suite, and I took the small Magnolia, stamped it 2 times in black Memento ink onto the very vanilla cardstock, and then I used the Magnolia Memories dies to cut them out. So I came out with these 2 beautiful little flowers, and I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends to color them in. So start with the light. We're not going to color all the way up. We're just going to kind of color the base of the flower. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little bit of dark just for highlight. These are so easy to use. I'm not really that great with watercolors, but I'm telling you, these Stampin' Blends are so easy to use. Now, they will be in the new catalog. However, this is the light old olive, by the way. They are no longer going to be available in a set. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I said that all wrong. They are no longer going to be available individually. Let me finish this and then I'll explain. This is going to be the dark crumb cake. Okay, so right now, let's say we're talking about old olive. You could buy a light old olive or a dark old olive, or you could buy the set together. In the new catalog, you'll be able to purchase the set together. So, but not just the light or just the dark. So I'm suggesting that you take a look now at your Stampin' Blends, and if you have, let's say you've used up all your light old olive, and you're thinking, oh my, I'm almost out, but I've got lots of the dark. So go ahead and stock up on a light Stampin' Blend, so that when you run out, you'll just need to, you'll have your light Stampin' Blend and won't need to buy a whole set until you run out of both of them. Make sense? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add these to the card. So the one on the left is going to go on with just snail adhesive. The one on the right is going to have dimensionals. And when I place them on the card, I'm going to put them parallel. I'm going to leave a little bit of space on the left for some rhinestones for a fun little pop. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and add some Wink Stella to this second flower. This is a glitter glue, which you won't be able to really see it until you see this in person. All right, then I want to add a little pop of color using the, this is the, again, the Petal Pink Metallic Edge ribbon. And I'm pulling the ribbon down kind of tight. You know, oftentimes when you're making a little knot, you might pull the ribbon out side to side. But I'll show you in just a moment why I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to go a little bit more straight up and down. Okay, now this is going to go, oops, wait, I wanted that under, forgot, under. Okay, so see, I didn't want, once I tied the knot, I didn't want the ribbons going out because I don't want to cover this flower up. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is just add 3 little rhinestones along the side. That'll be a cute pop. The way I like to do that is just get my paper snips, oops, pick it up, and add it to the card. And it's usually a good idea to add an odd number, so we're going to add 3. There you go. I would love to receive this card, and I can hardly wait to send it. Inside, I'm going to add the greeting that I mentioned earlier, wishing you a day of love and happiness. And again, that's from the Beautiful Bouquet set. So here's the outside, wishing you a day of love and happy memories, and we are good to go. Be sure to subscribe to my blog. Just push the button below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and be sure to visit my blog, sandystamper.com, and I'll look forward to having you back. Thanks for joining me.